I must say that I'm shocked and incredibly disappointed by the response of Wells Fargo's corporate executives. In the last week, you and your chief financial officer have taken to the press and laid the blame squarely on low-paid retail bank employees. And while I don't excuse what they did by any stretch of the imagination, I find that despicable.
Well,
Wells Fargo touts to its investors and its customers that we will never put the stagecoach before the horses. Well, I'll tell you what, the bank recklessly rolled over 2 million of your customers in what is no way can be viewed as other than a large-scale scheme to boost, your growth and whatever that meant for your shares and whatever that meant to your shareholders. So you didn't fire 10 employees, right? You didn't fire 500 employees. You fired 5,300 employees. Is that right?
yes, 5,300 people did not honor our culture.
And they were not located in one branch or one district. Is that right?
That is correct.
They were located across the country. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
Now, shouldn't the workplace actions of employees reflect the values of the institution, no matter what part of the country that they're in?
I absolutely agree with that.
So do you believe that senior executives like yourself are responsible for nurturing and honing a company-wide culture for your employees and your employees' actions?
Absolutely.
So this isn't the work of 5,300 bad apples. This is the work and the result of sowing seeds that rotted the entire orchard. And whether tacitly through sales guides and employee training manuals, some of which I reviewed, or more explicitly through demands from hard-driving managers, you and your senior executives created an environment in which this culture of deception and deceit thrive. And yet, I see this as a toxic combination of low wages. Now, I know that in response to Senator Brown's question, as what is an average banker at Wells Fargo made, you said between 30 and 60,000. You said that's good money. How much money did you make last year?
19.3 million.
Now that's good money. Now that's good money. This is a combination of low wages, punishing sales quotas, and a grossly misaligned compensation incentive throughout the bank's organizational structure, as is evidence that you've removed it. Now, when you were holding these ethics sessions, did you ever specifically, seeing this information begin to blip up on your radar screen, and then more insignificantly, did you ever specifically say in those sessions, we do not want to open accounts for our customers that they don't ask for? Did you specifically say that?
Senator, I will get to that question, but I just must go back for a second. When a team member opens an account that's not used, that does not help customer and does not help us. And the vast majority did the absolute right thing.
Did you specifically
And I
say?
specifically said, yes, we do not push products. We sit down with a customer, we have a needs-based analysis, and then based on what we hear where the customer is in their financial journey, we match products.
Did you specifically say that, in fact, I don't want to see accounts open for customers that they did not ask for?
Absolutely.
When did you say that?
I've said that many times in many town halls.
Let me ask you, Ms. Tolstead made about $9 million in salary, did she not, last year?
It's in our public
She made about
filings.
$9.1 million in salary, bonus, and stock awards. The average, according to Glassdoor, the average Wells Fargo banker teller salary is $24,545, and the average salary for a Wells Fargo personal banker is $37,560. So imagine, do you know what the poverty wage is for a family of three?
I do not have that in
Well,
front of me.
let me just share it with you. I didn't think you would. It's $24,300. For a family of three, it's $20,160. So imagine for a moment, you're a single parent working with two young children as a personal banker in Wells Fargo's branch. Let's say your base salary is somewhere in the $30,000 range. You have a hard-driving boss breathing down your neck to meet rigorous sales quotas. You got to call into a call center when you don't meet those quotas, and if you don't meet the quota one day, it gets carried over to the next day, so you got even a higher quota. and you're being told, forget about the incentive of making more money. In essence, this is about losing your job. And you think that that environment was the appropriate environment to protect your customers and to have the culture that you portray here that Wells Fargo had?
Senator Menendez, I get your question. We have been reducing sales goals and bringing other goals into place even before we decided to get rid of the sales product goals. And the vast majority love Wells Fargo. And in fact, when we go to our regional banking, our retail banking people, 15 of our people in survey, it's actually a census done by Gallup every year, love the environment in Wells Fargo, and they put customers first. I can't excuse the behavior of the 1,000. I know it's too many, but the culture is a very caring and collaborative culture.
Well, I know my time is up, but let me just ask you a final question before hopefully the chairman will have a second round. Did you or any senior executive at Wells Fargo suffer any financial consequence as a result of what's transpired over the years?
The board will take, well, first of all,
To date, have you suffered any financial consequences?
the board has gone through, and yes, people have been held accountable.
Senior executive management.
Senior executive.
I'd like you to classify for me what that is.
Okay, well, people that are in charge of risk in the retail bank, people that are in charge of sales efficacy, regional presidents who don't meet their goals around proper sales. Yes, people are held accountable, and they will be held accountable.